Hi, this is Danny Doyle, and welcome back to my Fire Emblem 8 The Sacred Stones free play LTC. We have chosen to go Eirika route, partially because I prefer that route, and partially because it's really the only one available to us, as anyone who watched last week's video will see. In order to prepare for routing Distant Blade, I need to feed 2 energy rings to Selena, 1 energy ring to Orson, and 2 energy rings to Cormag. In addition to that, I buy an absurd number of javelins. I don't need all of them for Distant Blade, but I figured I'd get it out of the way here now because I'm going to need quite a few throughout this playthrough. I want to begin by drawing your attention to Tana's replacement, which is Tana. Her inventory is a speed wing and 2 pairs of swift souls. Reiv is now going to go ahead and warp Orson forward to the front of that sort of bridge-like structure. I guess it's supposed to be a bridge. I don't know, it's hard to tell on the GBA map. Orson has actually given me the most trouble with this clear. He, for some reason, consistently missed some 70s or 80s that he can't miss. This is one where he needs to hit both of these 82s, as I want this archer to be dead for player phase. And would you look at that, he is dead. In celebration, I'm going to have Selena cast bolting on this pirate. It says it's a 66 hit rate, but because he's standing on water and water conducts electricity, she's actually completely incapable of missing, because even if she missed, the electricity would carry through the water and kill him. Now Lyon is going to go ahead and carry out another warp. He sends Hayden to this bottom corner of the beach. Yeah, that's for enemy phase. Hayden isn't actually going to do anything on player phase, but his position is important for killing all of those mercs. After a dance, Lyon is going to go ahead and warp Glen down to the southern side of the map. He is basically going to solo this portion of the map over the course of the next 2 turns, which is pretty incredible. Glen actually doesn't have the highest stats of all the wyverns in our army, but he has sort of become the carry. I don't know. They're both carries. Valter and Glen can equally share the title. Valter is actually really upset by the fact that I called Glen the carry, and so he decided to prove his power by overkill critting the sniper. Cormag is going to make use of the energy rings I fed him by one-shotting the pirate with the Axe Reaver. Technically, I didn't need the energy rings to kill him, as Cormag has no chance of death even if he faces counter and he doubles, but I want to conserve Axe Reaver uses as it is the most reliable way for me to kill Axe units with my Lance users. Anyway, here's Glen killing an Axe user with a Lance that is not the Axe Reaver. Well, technically he's not killing him this turn, but he does only need to hit 3 out of 4 of these javelins, and he just hit 2 of them. I think Binks is pretty dead. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and burn some RNs and then move Tana and Renak down to the south so that they can carry out their tasks on turn 2. Alright, enemy phase time. I don't feel like narrating every single kill that Glen gets on this enemy phase, so just pretend that I said he dies like a true knight over and over again, and I will catch you on the other side of the massacre. Checking in on our problem child, he needs to hit every single attack that he does These soldiers are not really a problem because he has 93 displayed on them, but the sniper that will show up later in enemy phase is pretty significant and was the cause of multiple resets. Of course we get an overkill crit though, so that's nice. Hayden has a bit of an easier time. Even though he can potentially miss some of these attacks, he also doesn't need to hit every single one of them. He's able to clean up the mercs on enemy phase. There's only one merc that he doesn't double, and that one he actually needs to hit both on this enemy phase and next turn. But other than that, Hayden has some flexibility in whether he's allowed to hit or miss. I guess I'm being a little bit too mean to Orson by criticizing him for the resets when he has the hardest job, but I mean, come on. He's a paladin, Hayden is a ranger. I feel like I should expect more from the paladin. This is the merc that is most important to hit, so of course Hayden misses him. We have a chance to kill him, but it does require relying on a backup strat and makes turn 2 player phase somewhat more complicated. In some ways I am glad that he missed because it can show that this clear is more reliable than you would think, but in other ways it is annoying. This pirate is non-aggressive, by the way, and is the reason why I think a one turn is actually impossible. While theoretically I could get to him on turn 1 player phase and kill him, it then leaves me in a complicated situation with the enemies on the bridge and also the sniper. Anyway, Binks is dead now. Kind of pathetic, but yeah, there we go. Time for the true boss of this map to show up though, and that is the annoying top left corner sniper. I have a 73 on him and need to hit twice because Orson can't spend his player phase killing the mercenary as he has to kill that pirate. This caused me more resets than anything else on the map, but we got him in the end, which is all that matters. We begin turn 2 player phase by, what else? Having Selena hit a really unreliable bolting against an enemy on the other side of the map. In this case, it is the non-aggressive pirate that I drew attention to. It's 74, so it's better than the one who was on the ocean. Do water tiles give avoid in this game? I feel like in my brain they take away avoid, but that might be a modern Fire Emblem thing. Anyway, Orson is now going to go ahead and finish off this pirate, and since I don't trust him to hit 70s and 80s after my experience, I decide to have him whack away at the Iron Sword. There's no reason not to take that extra reliability. I now spend some time debating what to do with Hayden to make up for his mistake on turn 1, and elect to try and go for a crit with the Killing Edge. I think this gives me the highest chance, as I either hit 2 83s or get a 33% crit. Hayden hits that first 83, so we are on track to continue with the clear. This means that we are going to be doing 2 warps. The first of these is Renak down to the southern half of the map, and we capped Lyon, so that's nice. The second warp is going to be Tana. The reason that she replaces herself is her starting position plus flight is just nice, and she was the last flyer I had left. We send her to the other side of the ocean. My hope is to get both villages in order to get +3 items. Anyway, we are going to kill these last 2 hand axe pirates with the axe reavers on both Valter and Cormag. I once again want to comment on how weird it is that Valter seems to constantly be operating as the partner to either Glen or Cormag. Considering his role in the story, it's very out of character for him. I guess maybe the idea is that he's motivating Cormag and Glen to perform better out of fear that they'll be murdered if they perform worse. Yeah, that's my logic. The reason I make this really odd pairing is it's for motivational purposes, obviously. I'm a master tactician. Speaking of being a master tactician, it's time to have Glen kill these axe fighters and soldiers. This other group is one of the other reasons that I thought a one-turn is not possible. Even if I were to get Selena to warp and find a way to deal with that pirate on turn 1, this group of 4 in the southern bridge is just like in a weird position. I could get someone there, but then it's hard to deal with Binks and the snipers. Anyway, like I said, I want to get all of the villages in order to get +3 items. So Renak goes and acquires a Speedwing. Then Tana goes and immediately takes the Speedwing from Renak as well. See, he just got the Speedwing from one house, and hey, look at that portal gun. Unfortunately, Reiv doesn't have anything to do this turn, and we just have to hope that Hayden hits that killing edge. Bada bing, bada boom! Merc down. It's also nice that I use the killing edge instead of the silver sword just because it is a less valuable item, but the main reason that I was using the killing edge instead of the silver sword was the increased reliability from the potential of a crit. These soldiers and fighters are just going to go ahead and suicide onto Glen, and this one kindly provides me with an additional axe reaver. As I was willing to consume some energy rings in order to save axe reaver uses, you have to imagine that I find this boon to be really, really nice. It means I won't ever have to replace any other event items or inventory slots with axe reavers. I feel like 3 is enough to get me through the entire game. Anyway, that was Chapter 9, Eirika Route Distant Blade, completed in 2 turns. I'm pretty happy with this one. It's always disappointing not to get a 1 turn, but I'm fairly certain 2 is the turn floor. By the way, Renak is going to go ahead and hand over a Hummern as well, which is nice. See y'all next week.